What's happening, Tim with Nomad Trading? It's time for runner recap. So we're gonna jump in and look at the stocks that we're moving and grooving today. I'll show you my trade. I only took one trade today, so I'll show you that first of all. Also, this is going to be a shorter one. Normally, we've been going pretty long on these runner recaps, but I have somewhere I have to be, so I got to leave here in about 20 minutes or so, maybe 25 minutes. So, gonna try to jam all this into that. So let me see. Let me get over here into what I traded. Let me pull up this so I can see the chat also. Sorry, just working over here on my other screen. Make sure you hit the like button, of course, and subscribe and all that wonderful YouTube algorithm stuff if you feel so inclined. Thanks for joining us. Maybe we'll get some people here in the chat. Okay. So what I traded today was... let's look at UVXY. This was the only trade. Where is it at? There it is. This is the only trade that I took today. And all I did was catch a little piece of the move. Just so you know, I'm not messing with your lying to you. Up here you can see I made $144.60. So today was a green day of about $145, and that's the only trade that I took. I didn't trade the CMEG account at all today. I tried to, but it didn't work out. So the only trade I had was $145 winner. And what I did was on UVXY, as this pumped up here, and then it pulled back hard, and I just took the bounce play right here. So I bought it at let's see, somewhere up here, 1,000 shares at 11.20, and sold it at 11.30. So very easy. I actually got better executions than that, but that's the number that I typed in. That's why the amount was 145 and not an even 100, even though I only bought 1,000 shares. But anyway, took 1,000 shares, put it at 11.20. I think I got executed a little lower than that, and then took it off at 11.30, right here where it looked like it was getting a little choppy and might drop more. Of course, I left a lot on the bone. It would have been sweet had I held that a little bit longer, all the way up there to 11.50. But it's what happens a lot of the time with me is I just get nervous and I get in, get out, and then sit there and watch it go, longer. I anticipated having the trade until it got to this resistance right here is where I thought it would end up coming back down, bouncing off that level at just below 11.50. But that's what I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to work on controlling my emotions and not letting them get the best of me and jumping out too soon, taking profit too soon, because I do that all the time. So anyway, got a little bit over 10 cents a share on it with 1,000 shares. So $145 winner. That was my trade of the day. Other than that, I wanted to, let me show you over here. Let me pull this up. So, yeah, yesterday I was talking about how CMEG has shares to short all the time, and how I can only remember like 1 or 2 times ever of them not having the shares and not having the borrows to where I could short these stocks. And then what happens? It's almost like they were listening, because the very next day, I was just talking about this yesterday in the live runner recap, and then today, the very next day, I end up not being able to short ISR, NGA, or NCTY. All 3 of the tickers that I wanted to short were all rejected because I didn't have any borrows. So that's quite the interesting thing to have happen, because I've been trading, with CMEG for quite a while, and only a couple times ever did they not have the shares to short of these low float stocks. And you guys were saying in the chat that that wasn't the case for you, that you guys weren't able to find shares a few different times at CMEG. So I thought I was pretty blessed. And then the very next day, I try to short, and 3 different stocks that I try to short, they don't have shares to borrow. I don't know what that means, or it seems pretty odd to me that I could be shorting stocks for months and months and months, and then all of a sudden one day after I talk about it, I can't short any of the stocks that I want to short. So I don't know if it's because of the overall market. I don't know. It makes no sense. This is the overall market today. So we had a green day and pushed to back up to near the all-time highs again, but then it pulled back because of some unrest at the Capitol. I guess there's protests and whatnot going on at the Capitol. I have not been watching the news, so I have no idea exactly what's going on with all of that, but apparently that's what all of this was, and that's what this drop was, some kind of unrest at the Capitol. So anyway, that was my trade. My only trade of the day was just a little bounce play in the E-Trade account on UVXY. So then what else was moving? We got ISR. This was one of the big ones. Traded 254 million shares as of right now. So this was a big one, and it did my favorite pattern several times yesterday after hours. So this is kind of yesterday after hours. This line right here is the close of after hours, and beginning of the next day's pre-market is right here. So after hours, it shot up. I can't remember if we were watching it yesterday on the recap or not. I don't think so. I think it was after we ended the recap, but I'm not sure. Anyway, big moves yesterday after hours. Then this morning pre-market, it ends up pulling back, and this would have been a spot that you could have taken a trade. Would be it pulls back pretty significantly, but back to that 50 moving average and back to this level of what was resistance but would turn into support, because as we know, resistance becomes support. So could have taken a trade off of that support and had this nice bounce right here. Of course, I would have ended up taking my profit off before I got to the high of day right here, but had you held it, you would have been in good shape. That's where market opened, was right there. So let me show you the 1 minute over here on the 1 minute chart. So market opened right here, nice big green candle, and then it jumps up on the second minute and pulls back. I'm not sure if it got halted or not. It looks like it almost might have got halted in there, but I can't see it in this jumbled mess. It might have though. Let's see. Yeah, I think it did. Looks like zero volume in that area. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it got halted in that area, probably on the way down. But as far as trades go, and as far as setups go, you could have gone long off of this support right there. You could have gone long off that support again in here, but to me, that's not something that I would really be looking at. It's not a super high odds setup because you're below the 50, you're below VWAP, so you're down here in what would be more of a shorting area. It did pull back up, shoot back up and break 50 and break the VWAP, but kind of got into the same level of resistance here and ended up coming back down. So not a whole lot of great long setups on that stock. I would almost say there was no good long setup in this stock other than maybe buying the high of daybreak, but most likely that would have just gotten you into trouble if you bought that high of daybreak, because it only was up there for less than a minute and then it started pulling back. Let me check the chat. Let me check the chat over here. What's up, Nafissa? I think they were listening too. It's so weird. Hello, what's your scanner now? The strategy scanner is gone. I don't even use one, honestly. I just use the screeners. Pretty much every day I've been for the most part not even some days I've been watching pre-market, but a lot of the days I've not even been watching pre-market or into the open. I've just been waiting till a few minutes after open and then looking at the stock screeners. You can watch, if you need a scanner, there are scanners available. Like you could watch on YouTube and see somebody's live scanner, because there's tons of people that live stream their scanners, so you could do that. But I've just been trading without a scanner. Mainly because it's been working for me. Like ever since I lost the scanner, I haven't stopped making money. I've still been consistently, you guys see on the recap every day, I've been consistently pulling in 100 or more a day, almost every day. So that's why I haven't been too concerned about paying for a scanner and getting one. But I may get trade ideas or something and just pay for it, bite the bullet and have the scanner. Are you from the state? Ghost G says. What state? The United States? Anyway, that was ISR. Not a whole lot to write home about. It pretty much just gapped up and then faded. Not a lot of long setups. Would have been more of a short. Was that one of the ones I tried to short? I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah, that was the one I tried to short at CMEG. So I'm pretty sure I was trying to short it right here as it broke VWAP and then started breaking down. That's when I think I was looking at it and trying to see if I could get short in it, but I couldn't. For whatever reason, CMEG has decided that they would not like to have me short anymore. So hopefully that's just a one-day thing, and going in tomorrow and the following days, I can get back to shorting these stocks, because I think it is awfully strange that for all this time I could short whatever I wanted to, and then all of a sudden today, all 3 times I tried to short, I get rejected. It's very strange. Yes, I'm from the USA. And let's see, UONE was another one that was running. This was probably my favorite stock of the day, even though I didn't trade it. But if you look at the daily chart down here, we've got, let me zoom in just a hair. It was one of those unicorn stocks that made this insane move from under $2 to what, 50, what was the high there? 54. Under $2 to $54. So it was definitely one of those unicorn stocks. And then it's just kind of bled slowly down, back down to the $4.50 area, $4 area, and consolidated all the way across. And then today it finally had a nice pop up. But it was probably my favorite stock of the day just because it was the most volatile. It had lots of movement. It went from the 4s up to what was the high there? 917. So more than double, over 100% up at one point. And it offered several long setups because, as you can see, this would be somewhat of a cup and handle on the 5 or the 1 minute chart. You get your cup, and then it kind of comes down and forms the handle. And then as it goes up, that's where you would buy. And it would have worked out nicely going from, you could have bought it in the 560 area, maybe 570 area, and pretty easily made over $1 a share. So that was a pretty decent setup right there. And then we pull back to VWAP. You could have tried a VWAP bounce. That would have worked nicely off of VWAP. Would have moved from 580s or even 590-ish, and then up to 650s pretty easily. So you could have had a pretty nice bounce off of that. Then it pulled back down again, and then as it shot back up, you could have taken a trade past the high of day, which would be around 680 or so. Had you taken the high of daybreak, then you would have pretty easily made well over $1 a share conservatively just from this move right here. So probably my favorite stock, although I didn't take any trades on it. That is the downside to not having the scanner. If I had my scanner running all the time, I would see things like this and I would see them moving and I'd be watching them and taking trades on them. But not having the scanner, it's just been more of like the stocks that I see or see people talking about, I'll bring them up and then I'll just find a trade on that, on those particular stocks. So instead of the scanner kind of telling me and me actively being involved in the hottest stocks when they're moving and when they're happening, it's been more of me trying to find a trade in a stock that's already developed, that's hitting my screener or that somebody's talking about somewhere in the comments or whatever, and then I'll pull it up and hey, I'll find a trade in there somewhere, a spot to take a bounce trade like that one on UVXY. A friend of mine is holding UVXY, so I was just looking at it because of because of him being in it, and that ended up being the trade I took. So it wasn't even something that hit a scanner. It was just that I was watching it because he was watching it, and I thought, hey, this is going to be a nice place for a bounce. And UVXY mirrors SPY, the S&P or the overall markets. UVXY is the inverse of the markets. So whenever they're going up, this is going down. When this is going up, the markets are going down. So I was just kind of watching between SPY, which is this, and UVXY, which is the inverse. So when I saw SPY was starting to turn and looking like it was going to head down more, that's when I thought, hey, this is going to be a good spot for a bounce. So I just took a bounce trade, and it worked out nicely. So anyway, the point is, I haven't had a scanner, but I feel kind of good about the fact that I've been able to find trades almost every day, even without having a scanner that's alerting me all the time. Yep, talking about you, Dustin. So yeah, it's kind of a good thing because I kind of enjoy the fact that without a scanner, I've been able to find a trade almost every day or a few trades just in whatever I've stumbled across, and that's what. Anyway, I think that that's a good step towards becoming a full-time trader, is being able to spot different movements even when you don't have a scanner and you don't have the hottest stocks and whatever, but just, looking at the ones that you do see, and you can kind of start seeing some trades develop in almost any stock that you look at. As long as there's volume and as long as it's moving, you can find a trade. I actually think I would have made quite a bit more money had CMEG had the shares to short, because there were several stocks that I was trying to short would have all worked out. I just didn't have any shares at CMEG or E-Trade, so unfortunately I didn't get to take those trades. Luckily for you, it goes on YouTube and you can watch it back later. I was just talking about how a friend of mine is playing UVXY, and that was how I found it, and then ended up taking a bounce trade on it. So made $145 on the bounce on UVXY, thanks to you, basically, Dustin. So I've just been finding whatever stocks people throw at me and then looking for a trade to take, looking for a setup in whatever stock I find, since I don't have my scanner. I do think, though, I'm getting closer and closer to just paying for trade ideas or something. E-Trade sent that email out saying that they were going to be revamping the Power E-Trade scanner and making it more customizable, which is good. So whenever that happens, that'll be great. But in the meantime, I may go ahead and pay for trade ideas. I've been thinking, more and more about just paying for it and having a scanner. Everybody seems to like it, so maybe I should just bite the bullet and do it. What else was moving? Gonna have to get off of here pretty quick, because like I said, I got to leave in about 5 minutes or so. Another one was DGLY. This one is a body cam play. So this is one that I watch pretty much anytime there's protesting going on or civil unrest. Then DGLY is always one that you watch. Every time that there has been protests, like in St. Louis or riots or whatever you want to call them, Chicago, Philadelphia, all those different protests and riots and things. Those every time that happens, DGLY pretty much shoots up because it's a body cam play. So the idea of the civil unrest and the protests and all that is going to lead to more body cameras and the cops needing to buy more cameras, etc. So pretty much always bounces. You can bet on it whenever there's some kind of unrest. So I guess there's some civil unrest going on at the Capitol today. So there you go. You got a nice spike on DGLY. Coming back down though now, pretty much all the way back down, close to $3. So not much of a play as of now, unless there's some big headlines or something that comes out that some crazy stuff starts going on the streets, then maybe it will shoot back up. But what else did we have? Let's see. Ncty. That was another one that I tried to play at one point. This one was, let's see, I think yesterday. Was it yesterday? This one was really moving. So yeah, a few days ago we had a gap up and then kind of a consolidation move. And then yesterday it was up pretty big and then faded back. It did have a couple of opportunities, but then faded back. I think I might have traded that yesterday, if memory serves. And then today, it would have been a long past that previous high at right around $10. So around $10, if you could have gotten long past this previous high, this breakout here, that would have been a nice trade. And now it's going absolutely crazy. I'm not sure if there's new news on it. Let's see, 4 hours ago, 2 days ago. No, I don't see any new news on it. I think it's just like a cryptocurrency fluffy piece that's actually got this thing moving. But that doesn't necessarily matter what the catalyst is a lot of the time, as long as there is some kind of catalyst and then people start trading it. It's traded almost 47 million shares. Getting interesting now, it's all the way to 19. So today, just today, it's up over $10 a share. So pretty awesome. Could have taken the trade right here at the breakout past high of day. Could have done it up here at the breakout past high of day. Lots of different trades on it. Or as it curled back up, it curled and stayed above VWAP, which is a good thing. It curled all the way up here and then shot up. So this was probably, was this after close? Yeah, looks like that was just after close. So as we know, whenever stocks are moving in after hours, there tends to be a larger spread and less shorts are piling on, and it ends up being sometimes the biggest moves happen after hours, and that's the case with this. It's finally opened up, but it didn't happen until after hours. As for what it's about to do, let's zoom out and see on the daily. So if we go out all the way 2 years out, it looks like there's quite a bit of consolidation and resistance back like 2 years ago. But other than that, it's already passed all the resistance that it would have had. So in my opinion, it's kind of anybody's guess how high it goes. It might be slowing down because it's nearing that around $20 mark. As we know, like whole dollars can be resistance, especially like $10, $5, $20. Those big round whole dollar numbers can end up being resistance. So we'll see how it reacts to $20. Yeah, trade ideas. Dustin asks what trade ideas is. Trade ideas is a scanner. It's the scanner that like E-Trade. I loved E-Trade scanner, and it was a version of Trade Ideas is what it, I mean. Trade Ideas provided the basic version that E-Trade was using for their scanner. So basically, if I bought Trade Ideas, I'd be able to have the same, pretty much the same scanner that I had with E-Trade, and just have to pay for it. And I think it's like $1,000 a year or something like that. So it's kind of expensive just for a scanner, and I've been doing pretty good recently without having the scanner. So I'm kind of debating, do I really need it, or can I just find the stocks that are hot through screeners and other means and then trade them? Yeah, anyway, it'd be nice to have the scanner, and I might pay for it, but I also don't like paying $1,000 for something. Stocks to Trade is another one. They have like an Oracle setup. This thing's going crazy now, really opening up. 20.50. So we broke $20. We broke $20.50 already. So we're really opening up, and it's anybody's guess how high it's going to go. Maybe 22.50 or so, if I was going to guess, because we have this high right here on the daily chart way back almost 2 years ago. We did have a day that the stock topped out at, let's see, 22.47 was the high. So I would watch if it can make it that high. I would watch the 22.50 area. Kind of wishing I had bought this back here on this consolidation and taken a stab at it, but now it really feels like chasing. It kind of felt like chasing then, but at least it was kind of pulling back. But now that we're up, considerably on top of that consolidation, like I've talked about in other videos, the more times you see the pattern play out, the more likely it is to fail. So we've already had this giant move, consolidation, giant move. So yeah, feeling more and more like chasing at this point, but we'll see. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna have to get off of here, and I will just talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't think, let's see, did we get to everything? Nmtr was another one that I wanted to look at real quick, because I think that one was one that was up. Was it yesterday? Yeah, so yesterday it had a nice move from the 80-cent area all the way up to after hours closing up in the 130s. So this morning pulled back just a little bit, got a little choppy in that area, but then opened up all the way up to a high of, let's see, what was the high? 177. So almost $1 a share move in the last day or so. Pretty good. Coming down now, getting back into this consolidation range and above the 200 moving average. So now we'll get to see, is it going to consolidate and continue up, or is it going to break down and come back down to earth? We'll see. But anyway, okay. Now we've kind of covered everything, and I need to get off here or I'm going to be late. Any news on the E-Trade scanner? No, other than the video I posted a couple days ago with their email. Yeah, the only news that I know of is that they're pushing people towards Power E-Trade, so they're going to, they plan to not have it on Pro. They plan to revamp the scanner on Power E-Trade and make it customizable, is what they said. So we'll see if that happens and what it's like when that happens, and then hopefully they'll integrate that back into the Pro platform, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the support. Yesterday, by the way, had the biggest day that I've ever had as far as views. Had well over 1,000 views yesterday in one day between the live stream and my other videos. So the total number of views we had yesterday was over 1,000 views in one day. That's the most I've ever had. So thank you guys and everybody who watches this. It's really awesome. So pretty exciting day to have over 1,000 views in a day. It's a milestone. So pretty awesome. Thank you guys for the support. Thanks for everything. You guys have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully we all have green days tomorrow. Make a bunch of money. Take care. Have a good night. Don't forget to have fun. Peace.